Squawk! I'm Rudy.
Rudy, who are you talking to? Oh, hi guys. I'm Naomi, and this is Rudy.
Squawk! Stinky breath, stinky breath.
Hey, that's offensive.
Stink!
Guys, I'll be right back. In the meantime, please like and subscribe. Hey y'all, I'm back. And this handsome boy here is Rudy. When I was 5, my grandmother got Rudy as a pet, and he's been my best friend ever since. But I was 11 when we lost Grandma forever. So Rudy is now my pet. We live with my mom, who raised me all by herself and is an amazing fashion designer and works really hard.
Nifty tie, squawk!
But she never has time to go out and have a social life.
Social life, squawk! No nifty ties.
Don't be selfish, Rudy. Just then, I heard a noise outside of my window. It was Leo, the school bully, and his goonies pushing around Dante. Dante and his parents had moved in about a week ago across the street from me, and he was in grade 5 too. But Dante was smaller than the other boys in our class, and he wore glasses and had lots of acne, which made him the perfect target for bullies.
You're like a science experiment gone wrong with those pimples, buddy. I'm just practicing for Halloween. Gotta start early with the scary costumes, you know?
Suddenly, Leo and his gang pushed Dante and dragged him away. We have to do something.
Let's go, squawk!
Rudy and I stealthily trailed the boys to an abandoned house 2 blocks away. We peeked inside and saw Leo and his boys harassing Dante. Leo needed to be taught a lesson. Rudy, time to put on our spooky act. I opened the window slightly and Rudy crawled through. He slid under a sheet and started flying around like a ghost. Boo! I'm the ghost of Parrot Past! The boys' faces drained of color.
It's haunted! Run!
As the boys ran out screaming, I climbed in through the window and helped Dante up.
Thanks for helping me. You guys are awesome.
Let's go, before real ghosts come. From that day, Dante, Rudy, and I were inseparable. Dante basically became a member of my small family. We played video games, had all-night movie marathons, and he even taught me how to ride a bike. Heck, when we were 14, we even opened an animal shelter.
Interesting people, interesting people.
Are you saying I'm boring?
He's just saying you're as interesting as watching paint dry.
Life was great. The summer before high school, Mom, Rudy, and I even went to Paris for Mom's first international fashion tour. It was amazing. I helped Mom to outfit her models and even gave her a few designer tips. Because we were super busy, I didn't have time to check in with Dante, but I bought him a few souvenirs to make up for it. After all, he was my best friend and he'd understand, right? But then something weird happened. When we came back from Paris, Dante suddenly disappeared. He stopped talking to me and even stopped replying to my messages. I was super worried. So on the first day of high school, I ran over to his house, worried crazy. When the door opened, I almost passed out. Dante looked amazing and cool. No glasses, no acne. He looked like a teen model. But before I could even ask him what was up, he frowned.
I think I'll walk to school by myself today.
Then he closed the door and walked away. I was beyond shocked. Was he kidding? He had to be. Right? Wrong. Because at school, things got even weirder. Dante avoided me like the plague. Every time he saw me, he dodged and ran away. Finally, I cornered him in the hallway. What's with the dodgeball moves? Did I do something?
Look, I gotta go.
Distracted, I bumped into Leo and his gang.
Oh, is little loser sad because Dante no longer wants to be seen with her?
Better a loser than a clown. What trick are you going to do today? How to use your mouth to talk instead of your butt? Leo's face turned red. He leaned towards me menacingly. Luckily, a teacher passed by, and he and his gang rushed away. That evening, I was very bummed out. After school, I saw Dante hanging out with some guys who spent more time in detention than they did in their classrooms. Did he think he was too cool to hang out with me? Rudy, you won't believe it. Dante's acting so weird, and I just don't understand why.
Squawk! Secret agent, squawk! Undercover.
Rudy gave me a great idea. What if I followed Dante around to find out what was going on and why he started hanging out with those guys? I wanted my best friend back. As I was trying to understand Dante's odd behavior, there was an unexpected knock on the door and Mom waltzed in. Hey, kiddo, I've got some news. I've met someone and he's coming for dinner with his kid tonight. Is that okay?
Squawk! Nifty ties, gone!
Rudy, shh! Of course, Mom. I'm so happy for you. With a chuckle, Mom hugged me. Dress up a bit, okay? I want us to make a good impression. To be honest, I was excited for Mom. That is, until I opened the door for her guests and saw who they were.
Naomi, what a pleasant surprise! I'm gonna make your life a nightmare.
I gulped. This was going to be a disaster! But to my shock during dinner, Leo was super polite. I could hardly recognize him. He even poured juice for me. Was I wrong about him? Just then, Mom and Leo's dad went to the kitchen to grab the chocolate cake Mom had baked. I sat with Leo awkwardly when suddenly I felt something crawl up my leg and onto my chest. Ah! I screeched louder than a pig in a mud bath and leaped from my chair as the rodent darted into the kitchen. Leo's dad emerged from the kitchen holding the toy mouse.
Naomi, Claire, I'm so sorry about this.
Boys will be boys. No harm done. And jerks will be jerks. As soon as Leo and his dad left, I rushed over to Dante's house to give him the bad news that my mom was dating Leo's dad. Hey, Dante, can we talk? But Dante didn't look happy to see me. Dante shook his head and looked away.
What, Naomi?
OMG, what the heck is wrong with you? Why are you acting like such a jerk?
Then go away.
You know what? I will! I spun on my heels and walked away. Silent tears rolled down my cheeks. I missed my best friend, and I needed him now more than ever. As days turned into weeks, my school life became a minefield of misery, courtesy of Leo's relentless pranks at school and at home, and Dante's silent treatment. Rudy was my only friend, but even he was worried about me.
Tell Mom, tell Mom.
What was I supposed to tell her? That her boyfriend's son's heart was as dark as a moonless night? But just when I thought my life was over, something amazing happened. I got an opportunity to win a scholarship to college. I was thrilled. If I could get it, I wouldn't have to worry about my fees. All I had to do was write an essay about the career path I wanted to choose and why I deserved the scholarship. I was so excited. I spent the next month working tirelessly on my essay, and when I finally finished, I was super proud of myself. On the day of the deadline, I rushed to the principal's office, clutching my laptop with my cherished essay, when out of nowhere, a torrent of dirty mop water careened toward me. It was like everything was happening in slow-mo. My laptop fell on the floor and broke in two. Before I could get it, someone standing close by jumped on it, smashing it to bits. OMG, stop! Stop! I didn't save it on the cloud! This can't be happening! My essay! But it did happen. I sat in a pool of dirty, stinky water with bits of laptop around me, my precious essay gone forever. And then I heard it, the most terrible sound on the planet, Leo laughing. Suddenly my vision blurred with anger, and before I knew it, I was on top of him, clawing at his hair like a wild animal. It took the combined strength of 3 teachers to wrestle me away. You ruined my chances of getting that scholarship, Leo! I hate you! I ran out with tears in my eyes. At home, I locked myself in my room and cried. That night, I got a call from Dante, but I refused to answer. Shortly after, he sent me a text saying that he saw what happened at school and he was really sorry. He called repeatedly, and eventually, I switched off my phone and cried myself to sleep. Over the next few days, I couldn't eat, and I spent most of my time in and out of sleep. Darling, if something is troubling you, you can always talk to me, okay? I'm here for you.
Squawk! Tell her.
With a deep breath, I opened up to Mom and told her everything about Leo's relentless bullying, the scholarship and the essay, and how Dante had distanced himself from me. I was devastated and miserable. Oh, honey, why didn't you tell me earlier? You were so happy with Leo's dad, and I didn't want to ruin it for you. You will always be my #1 priority. And as for Dante, let's work on finding out what's wrong there too. Later that evening, I decided to walk to the park to clear my head. I was sitting behind a tree when I heard familiar voices, and what I heard next made my blood run cold.
I refuse to be involved in this any longer.
Oh, don't you? What about the $50,000 that I gave you for your mother's hospital treatment?
I gasped. $50,000?
Remember our deal? I provide the money, and in return, you become my slave. You do as I tell you, and I'm telling you to stay the heck away from Naomi. I hate her, or your mom suffers.
Leo's words hit me like a sledgehammer. Dante was being blackmailed. He was trying to save his mother while also protecting me and Mom. That night, I decided to take things into my own hands and decided to visit Dante. Since I knew he wouldn't let me in through the front door, I decided to climb in through the window. But it was way tougher than they make it look in movies. As soon as I leaped onto the roof, a tile dislodged and slid down the roof, and I was clutching the gutter for dear life. My life flashed before my eyes. I heard the window open, followed by Dante's voice.
Naomi, what are you doing?
Shut up and help! I'm here to rescue you!
Hang on, I'm on my way.
Within a few seconds, a ladder leaned on the roof next to me, and Dante safely brought me back to solid ground. I wrapped my arms around Dante, overflowing with gratitude, but he gently pushed me away.
You shouldn't be here.
Because Leo would hurt Mom and us, right? Dante's eyes widened in surprise. I overheard you guys at the park. Come on, let's go to your room before Leo catches us. Finally, Dante told me about his mother's illness and his father losing his job while we were away. I felt so guilty. I'm so sorry, Dante. I should have been there for you.
No, it's fine, but I don't have any money for Leo, and if I ever cross him, all the things I did for him will come back to haunt me.
A mischievous grin crept across my face as I rubbed my hands together. Leave it to Rudy and me. The next evening, I told Mom to invite Leo and his dad over for dinner because we had settled things between us. When they arrived, I was still connecting the camera that I had secured in Rudy's tie to my laptop. When I finally emerged, I spied Leo's father slipping into my mother's office. I tiptoed to the office and peeked inside with Rudy perched on my head. And what I heard sent shivers down my spine.
Yes, I'm bringing her designs tonight, and my gambling debt will be squared off, right?
I was shocked. Mom had spent months making designs to pitch to Prada. This was a huge deal for her. Her entire career depended on it. Rudy and I scurried back to my room. It wasn't the footage I hoped to get. It was 10 times better. I quickly sent a copy to Dante before heading to the dining room to greet our guests. Leo and I pretended to like each other and had a polite conversation. After the meal, I turned to everyone. I've decided to apply to a few colleges, and they wanted me to do a short video of myself. I'd love to get your opinions. As the tape played in the living room, Leo's father looked like he'd seen a ghost. Mom, on the other hand, was furious. How dare you come into my house and try to steal my designs? I worked so hard. Get out! But I wasn't going to let Leo and his father leave just like that. Not so fast. I won't share this on social media if Leo leaves Dante alone. I know about the 50,000 and all the things you've made Dante do. You what? Blackmailing our Dante? Pal, you have 3 days to pack your bags and move out of town, or I'm calling the cops. Leo and his father practically ran out crying.
Squawk! Trash gone! Trash gone!
While I was happy that I got justice for Dante, I felt super bad that Leo's dad had broken Mom's heart. I'm so sorry, Mom. I know you liked him a lot. Don't worry, kiddo. You just saved my business. I rushed over to Dante to tell him the great news.
Thank you, Naomi, for having my back, even though I was a jerk to you.
That's okay. Relationships aren't always sunshine. They need a little rain to grow. Slowly, Dante's mother recovered, and my mom hired Dante's father as her personal assistant. After Dante and I finally graduated high school, we got into the same college, excited about whatever life had in store for us, confident that our enduring friendship would weather any storm that came our way.